Welcome to Retired for Life. I'm your host, Brian. I retired a few years ago after 30 years in a factory job as a machinist in a millwright. I needed to rediscover what life could really be like. When we purchased this property, the house had stood empty for over a year, and the property had been badly ravaged by poor logging practices. Since my retirement, I've been working to renovate the home and restore the surrounding forest to its natural beauty and attract wildlife back to the property. Join me as I learn about nature and working with wood to create the backdrop for this new chapter of our lives. Well, folks, Mother Nature is about to throw us another little fun loop. As you can see, we've got lots of snow. And we've had lots of cold weather too. I'm surprised at how heavily it snowed considering how cold it was. The two don't usually go together as well as they did over the last few storms. Things are about to change. We have got temperatures going up well above freezing to +8 Celsius, and we've got rain coming. Starting tomorrow evening and going all the way through the next day, they're talking about as much as 30 millimeters of rain. That's a lot. So I'm trying to make sure that we're basically ready for it. Now, my storage domes are not in the greatest shape anymore. I just finished knocking the snow off of the one that's got my lumber in it. I do need to get a new tarp over top of it this year, so that's got to happen. And I sloughed that snow off from the inside because I wasn't worried about how much snow there was on top. There's very little snow on it. I just wanted to get everything off that I could so that it doesn't turn into a lead weight when all this rain gets here. And then I've got the big rip that's in this one. Let's go inside and we'll have a look. So as you can see, there's really not much at all in this dome. I'm working towards getting rid of it altogether, kind of thing. But while it's still here, I'm going to try and fix this, or at least do a temporary fix on it, if I can, just with some tape. Now the thing with tape, especially when it's stored outside, like mine is in the shop, in most cases like that, the tape is going to be frozen and the adhesive will not work well at all. But this red tape that I've been using, that's used for house wrap, seems to work quite well. So what happened with this one is the tarp that I put on top of it is still in reasonably good shape, but it didn't come all the way to the end. So the sun was getting through here and it rotted this part out. And this is where it ripped all the way along the edge. So I'll have to change something in the way I put a tarp on this, because I think once the weather permits and all the snow that's around this thing is gone, I'm going to pull the old tarp off and put a new tarp on it. I mean, they still work, they're still doing the job, and they're still really cheap. So, let's get the ladder down here. We're going to clean the top of this off and towel it down and see if I can get some tape to stick to it. All right, guys, let's see if we can do anything with this at all. Yeah, there's where the edge of the tarp ends. So it was the initial cover underneath it for the dome that rotted away. Of course, they are really very, very poor quality. The fact that they rot away as quickly and easily as they do is really something. At some point, I've got to find a better solution. I would, of course, really like to just build a couple of storage buildings, but really time consuming, and they use a lot of lumber. I'm trying to build my supply of lumber. I don't want to keep losing it to all sorts of outbuildings like this. All right, let's see what's going to happen. I may just be wasting my time here. Yeah, this part of the tarp is still just too wet for the tape to stick. All right, well, the sun is kind of coming out, so I think what we're going to do at this point is leave this and see if it'll dry a little bit, and then we'll try it again. So we'll give it about an hour. Well, between the cold and the wet, it's just not working very well at all. All right, guys, we're gonna try this one more time. And if this doesn't work out, then we're just gonna leave it and see what that storm brings. Well, there's a chance this might actually start to work. It is crazy, but I think it is starting to work. As long as we don't get a bunch more snow, this should hold it together good enough for now, until spring anyway, I hope. This is crazy. All right, guys, I'll bring you back as soon as I get a little farther along here. All right, folks, so it's the next day and the rain has started. It's not coming down too heavy right now, but it's 7 degrees Celsius out here right now, which is just ridiculous. I don't know whether I should be getting my short sleeve shirts out or winter coat or what. So this won't take any kind of snow load or anything like that, but it's, you know, fine for the time being. And then I've got to figure out what I'm going to do with these things. I'm actually toying with the idea of putting a wooden front and back on them when I put a new tarp on. So our next step for getting ready for this is to head up to the sand domes. So I'm going to put a bin in the back of the Jeep here, and we're going to go up and get some more sand to fill my cans that I keep there. So let's go up and have a look at the back of the house here. So a couple of years ago, oh, there was a turkey. A couple of years ago, when I saw this starting to really get bad here with this weird weather, I put these heating wires up on the lower edge of the roof at the back, because we did have one year where the ice was forming up so much that it was actually pushing in under the shingles and running up inside the wall and starting to make a mess inside. So this is working really well. As you can see, the roof is pretty much clear where the wires are, and I've run the wires way up. I'm up about 3 feet there with wires, and that's working very nicely. All right, let's get our bin and head off to the sand dome. That'll be more than enough for now. Okay, we are on our way. Things are really sloppy, and they're going to get really slippery because shortly after this mess, we are going to have a big freeze up. Just to make it all that much more entertaining. So when we bought this place 20 plus years ago, we bought it around this time of year. Actually, I think it was more towards the end of March that we bought it. And the place was just absolutely buried in snow. So we could not see much of the house. And this was after it had been abandoned for a year. So we couldn't see much of the house, couldn't see the property, did not really know what we were getting into. And boy, it was cold. So, and now here I am in a light jacket. It's just, yeah, it's really strange. I don't pretend to know anything at all about climate change or anything like that. But from what I have seen myself with my own eyes, since we have been here for, oh, I'm thinking around 25 years, something like that, the winters are getting wetter. And we went a long time, like into February, before we really got any kind of snow. And then temperatures dropped sharply. We got a couple of weeks of cold weather, minus 20, minus 27 at one point, one night, and storm after storm. And now here we are with all this rain, so I don't know what's going on. But whatever it is, I need to pretty much try to stay a little bit ahead of it as best I can and keep the house ready for it. I mean, that's all you can do, right? Is just try to be ready for it, take care of your own place, and just go from there. All right, not very far to the dome. Let's get that done. All right, guys, we are inside the sand dome. That actually looks a little bit scary right there. So I think I'm going to relocate the Jeep over to the side, just so that I'm not sitting underneath a potential earthquake here. All right, let's get relocated. I think that's a little safer. All right, let's get our sand loaded up. All right, so I have to wonder if they put something in this sand, because no matter how cold it is, it never seems to be frozen together, which is a good thing. So maybe they do. I don't know. Kenny, do you know anything about that? Do they put anything in the sand out your way? All right, let's get out of here before that mountain falls. All right, well, there you are, folks. Another weird weather experience. So I've left this open here because we've got another skid load of wood pellets coming in. And there is where I have temporarily parked our bin full of sand, which will make it nice and easy for spreading. I don't want to spread it right now while it's raining like this, because it's just going to wash it away. So I will get out here tomorrow when most of the rain has stopped, or should have stopped by then, and start spreading it around. All right, folks, so thanks very much for sticking around. Hope you found this little strange weather experience that we're having here interesting. And I think we're going to head in. It's just about dinner time. So thanks very much for watching, folks. Remember, stay safe out there. Be good to each other. And we will see you out on the trails the next time. Well, quick weather update, folks. Yeah, there's our last pallet of pellets that has shown up. We did not get the 20 to 25 millimeters of rain they were talking about. We got about 5 here. And I do have a weather station there that actually measures it, so I'm pretty sure that that's accurate. And we've been spreading a little bit of sand here, but it's still 7 degrees. Things are melting really quickly. According to the Weather Network, we have 1 day in the next 14 days that will drop below freezing during the day. All the rest of the time is going to be above freezing. So this stuff is going to start going away pretty quickly. And that's fine. I've had enough. All right, thanks again. We'll see you in the next video.
Put your lips on mine. I love it when we hide in the pale blue sky, floating on cloud 9. Do you feel the winds are turning round? What goes up must always come back down. But I'll be safe in your arms, like the light in the day never part. I'm looking down the line, with you by my side I'll be fine.